Well, here we're going to actually find the inverse functions and their domains and ranges. So let's start off with the first one. F of x equals 2x plus 5. First step, we'll replace f of x with y, and we get 2x plus 5. Now the next step, we'll exchange x and y, so x equals 2y plus 5. Now what remains to happen is we isolate y. When we isolate y, we'll have the inverse function. So let's see. 2y subtracting 5 from both sides equals x minus 5. So y equals, dividing through by 2, x minus 5 over 2, or 1/2, or 1/2 x minus 5 times 1/2 is 5/2. So either way, so f inverse of x equals, and I'll just say it's x minus 5 over 2. But either one of those will work. Now the domain for this, we have domain and f inverse and range. And the domain is all reals. There's no variable in the denominator. There's no variable under a square root symbol, so no restrictions, all reals. So correspondingly, the range is -infinity to infinity. Now you already know that looking at this, that's just a diagonal line. And it's going up forever and down forever, so the range of the function is -infinity to infinity, and the domain of the inverse function is -infinity to infinity, and we've got that guy covered. So let's do the next one. And we have f of x equal 3 over x minus 7. So we'll replace f of x with y, and we get 3 over x minus 7. Then we'll exchange x and y. So we get x equals 3 over y minus 7. Now we need to get rid of the denominator, so we'll multiply both sides by y minus 7. Y minus 7. These divide out, and we get, and distributing that x, we get xy minus 7x equals 3. Now, we'll isolate the term with y in it, so xy equals 3 plus 7x, adding 7x to both sides. Now dividing through by x, we get y equals 3 plus 7x over x. And I'm going to go over here and keep going. So y equals 3 over x plus, and 7 over x, the x's divide out, and we just get a 7. So f inverse of x equals 3 over x plus 7. So the domain and the range, and we've got an f and f inverse. Now the domain for this function is all reals except x is not equal to 7. So for the range of the inverse function, y is not equal to 7. And you know, by graphing this, that this function can never be 0, because the only way it could possibly be 0 is if the numerator could be 0, and it never will be, because 3 is 3. So the range is all reals but 0. So y not equal to 0, that means the domain of the inverse function is x, all reals but 0. X is not equal to 0. And we are done.